Hello and welcome everyone, Andy Bryan here from The Soul Pathway, and today within this video I wanted to speak with you all about love, light and your shadow, and also embracing the shadow of the collective consciousness, as there is a lot that is happening in the world right now, and we have to step into a place of higher consciousness where we are present within ourselves. We're disconnected from the world around us and really connected with the world that is within us, because you only need to look on social media, you only need to look at the world around you on social media or even the news media to realize there is a lot of propaganda out there. There is a lot of news that is causing media hype and frenzy, and from my personal perspective, this is causing us more harm than the actual virus itself. And so within this video I wanted to speak about how it's impacting on us and what we can do in order to change and shift that. So my video, as I said, it's entitled Love, Light, Shadow and Embracing the Darkness of the Collective Consciousness. So let me speak about love and light so far. Spiritual community is all about love and light, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely beautiful. We need to step into a place of love and light in order to accept and appreciate ourselves. As we raise our consciousness and awareness and we step into higher dimensions, what we begin to do is shift what is happening in our inner world to our outer world, and the world around us changes at the same time. It's quite a beautiful experience in many ways. But where does the shadow come into play? The shadow is that always lives within us. We've got love, light and also darkness, so that we need to embrace that. There are aspects within myself that I didn't like about who I was scared to accept, and that in many ways I did shine away from for many years. But the truth is these shadow aspects kept on coming up, kept on asking to be seen. And so what I've had to do over the years is come to love, accept and appreciate that shadow in order to heal, in order to grow, reintegrate and really accept the wholeness before I was. It's been a beautiful experience. And yet at the same time I've come to realize that not only did I have to do this within myself, I also had to look at the darkness of the collective consciousness of the world around us, because there is a world external to us. There is also a world within us. So we have to embrace the shadow of the collective consciousness as well as the shadow within ourselves. And for me that's a beautiful thing. But you have to be honest with yourself and really think about what is coming up for you, because you know, when you look on the news, you look on the media, all you see is fear, and these statistics that are causing people to go into panic mode each and every day, that they completely disconnect from who they are. You know, and the most important thing for you is to disconnect from all of these things that surround you and really connect with your inner world. So what I want you to do is ask yourself, what is coming up for you at this present moment? And not just about the virus, or maybe an onset of what that virus is causing you to do, or having you react in a certain way. Because this is the ego, this is the conditioning, this is the external world around us that is causing us to react and respond in certain ways. So we have to first of all look at that ego. The ego could be seen as the news, could be seen as social media, could be seen as the fear and the propaganda that surrounds this world right now. Ask yourself, what are the conditionings that have shaped your thoughts and ideas around the situation in your life right now? And ask yourself, is it real? And how much of a threat is it really to you? Because I'm sure your answer to that will be, well, maybe it's not so much of a threat as I thought it was. Or maybe the media hype has made it out to be something much more dangerous than it actually is. But I want you to ask yourself, look at the ego, look at the conditions, look at the way you've been brought up and been fed over the years. Because this impacts on our everyday life and how we respond to each and every situation within it. Okay? Because I personally believe there is much, much more happening behind the scenes of this virus. The virus is only, the face of the issue, face of the problem. And for me, I see the virus as the ego being expressed in the external world around us. And the shadow is actually what is behind this virus. The shadow is what we don't see, or what we're fearful about seeing, because it's causing us to have this lack of belief in the world around us. Even our governments, our institutions, and the people that have been perpetuating this fear. Because that, for me, is what is happening right now. We only need to look at the statistics of this virus and come to realize that many of the other viruses that preceded it, like the SARS virus, the swine flu, have not only been much, much more contagious, but yet at the same time they have caused more deaths at the same time. So you think that with the coronavirus, you think, how can we be in a place of lockdown when we have had so many viruses preceding this that are much, much more harmful, much, much more detrimental to us? But we are constantly in this fear because our media has been putting us in this place over the years. For me, it's only become a system of control. Through this virus, they have been able to create lockdowns around the world. You have to ask yourself, why have they been, locking the world down as they have been? Is it really to contain us from this, deathly and highly contagious virus? Especially when the deaths in proportion to other viruses have been so incredibly low in terms of percentage in relation to other viruses. You've got to think, why was there never any lockdown before? For me, it's because there is much, much more going on behind the scenes. But this is really where looking at the shadow of the collective consciousness is important. Because for me, we have a duty, each and every one of us, to not only heal ourselves and heal our own shadow, so that we can show up as our best each and every day, but we also have a duty to look at the shadow of the world around us. Because if each and every one of us were to honestly look at the truth behind the lies of the media and these, skewed statistics, in my opinion, then we can come to realize there is much, much more behind the scenes. But not only that, but we can rise up from the ashes, rise up from the shadow, and heal the darkness and transmute that darkness into light. Because that's what we need to do. That's what we need to step into. It's all about loving, accepting, and appreciating all of this. But in many ways, for me as well, it's also about eradicating that darkness from this world. Be honest about what you see. But don't be afraid of going into the darkness to see what you might find and discover. One of my greatest spiritual teachers, Joseph Campbell, said a quote many years ago: "The cave we fear to enter holds the treasure we seek. Now more than ever, we have to dive into that cave to seek that treasure, because that treasure is found within that cave. But you have to allow yourself to embark on that journey, discover what it is that you find, and stand in your light, stand in your power, stand in your truth. Because this is all about truth, and this is, in many ways, this is all about lies being exposed. You could say that we are living in an apocalypse, and the interesting thing about an apocalypse is that apocalypse is defined as truth being revealed, or something like that. At least that's what I came to, learn the definition to be, way back into the Greek times. So very, very interesting. But allow yourself to see the darkness, search and discover. You have this amazing place of lockdown, which is a beautiful thing for you. What does the lockdown allow you to do? It allows you to act with discernment, seek the truth, discover, find that there's so much more that's happening behind the scenes, and know that the truth is out there as long as you're willing to discover it and find out for yourself. But I, for one, will stand in my power, stand in my truth, and really try and support people into waking up to who they truly are, because that is really what awakening your soul pathway is all about. And with that, I will say thank you for listening. Wish you all the best. Love, light, darkness. Bye.